Times are tough for the South African economy. The high interest rates will likely have a dampening effect on economic performance. Add to that the electricity crisis and logistics constraints hindering economic activity. The economy contracted by 1.3% in the fourth quarter of last year, and this trend will probably continue. Some believe the economy might record negative growth for 2023.
The South African economy may already be in a so-called technical recession. The final quarter of last year reported negative economic growth, and chances are quite good that the first quarter of this year could also report negative economic growth, resulting in 2 subsequent negative quarters, which makes a so-called technical recession. And I'm afraid, looking at some of the other data coming out and some data expected this week, chances are quite good that economic growth during this year could be very, very low. In fact, it's even possible that 2023 could see a negative economic growth as well compared to the year before. Obviously, there are many reasons for that. One has to do with rising interest rates, which is negative to economic growth, and many other reasons. But the most important single reason has to do with the lack of electricity. Without electricity, the mines can't work, and just about nothing else can properly work in the South African economy. And I'm afraid, looking forward to next year and the years thereafter, I'm not too optimistic about future economic growth either.
Stats SA will release the March data for the mining and manufacturing sectors this week. They are both expected to have contracted, with load shedding being the main drag.
We expect both manufacturing and mining production to have contracted further in March. The key drag will remain load shedding, and these sectors will reflect not only the impact of load shedding, but also softer global conditions. On that basis, both manufacturing and mining will be negative contributors to the Q1 GDP number, which is due out on the 6th of June, and that increases the chances of a slight contraction in GDP for the first quarter, which would dip us into a technical recession following the 1.3% contraction in the final quarter of 2022.
Production is expected to have declined by an annual 6.1% in March, worse than the 5.2% contraction recorded in February. Mining is also expected to have contracted by about 7% year-on-year, more than the negative 5% recorded in the previous month. Gloria Sefako Musi, SABC News, Johannesburg.